Hey everybody, as promised, this is a tutorial of the decision-making matrix that I had to get out of my head the other day. And ADHD people are sometimes known for being in that decision paralysis where they've got the anxiety there and they're like, okay, I see all the future things that could happen. Here's everything else I see. And um, like all of the different variables and factors that go into it are very quickly overwhelming. So I've struggled with that for a long time. And like when I'm supposed to be making a decision, I'm like, I don't want to think about this right now. Like, that's a lot of things rolling through my head. That's a lot of things to consider, especially when you're already stressed out about something and you're like, this could be a big decision. So, um, a couple of days ago, I was in the middle of that thought process and I'm like, it really it feels like a much bigger decision than it really is. And most of that was because of like I have such a need to utilize my voice and give my opinion and um I I want people to know where I stand and how I feel so much. But at the end of the day, I have to say, okay, it gets to be sort of the definition of insanity thing. And it's like, okay, I on one hand, I could move forward with like taking action on this because um what'll be the result if I don't? I won't um like I can't live with myself if I don't, or at least I can say I did everything I could. And that may very well be true. And there's no right or wrong answer to the end of this matrix. It is purely to bring it a little bit more black and white. Yes, no answers. And it's trying to take out the emotion and the anxiety of it a little bit and make it a more just, okay, I know that there is context to everything in this matrix, but let's reframe it a little bit and take it to a like this is a business decision, but for us, um, for ADHD people and just neurodiverse people in general, there's so much energy that goes into like everything we do. And a lot of times, me included, we struggle with how to use that energy because like we're so determined to make something happen, or we want somebody to know how we feel so much. And we get hyper focused on that. And my hair is in my face, as you can see. Um, so this when I came up with this, it was more of, or when I created this, it was more from a standpoint of um, a professional work decision. You could very well reframe these to be a personal decision. That would not be hard. It would just take a little bit of restructuring. But this has to do more with like a decision you have to make about work that you're frustrated about, or um like is it worth it? Is my time and energy worth it? I want to do this, but at the same time, like I don't know, like I'm hesitating for some reason. Why am I hesitating? So with that, I will stop rambling and I will share this with you. Let's, okay, give me just a minute. Advanced. Video file. Okay, well. Hang tight, team. This is not giving me the options that it should. Slides, clips, whiteboard. Okay. Share. And here we go. Yay! Got it. Open board. Okay. So here is the lovely whiteboard. Sorry about that. All of my decisioning and everything else. So we start up here with the decision, the whole decision. And it's what is your feeling about it? Is that feeling like you're frustrated with it, or like what are you frustrated with it, or are you kind of like, okay, what do I do with this? Is it worth it? That kind of thing. So we're starting from the emotion and the feeling. And so we move to this first one and say, will taking action change the feeling or the desire of the outcome? So, meaning, if you decide to take whatever action you're thinking about taking, um, will it will it change will it change what you want to ultimately happen in the very end? Um, you have the hard conversation. You start a project. Will it change the desired outcome, or will it not? Um, for instance, okay, um, if I don't agree with something, a conversation that happened, or um, if I don't agree with an action or a conversation that happened, and I want to give my perspective, I want to, um, I just want somebody to see from my point of view, meaning the outcome may not change. Um, they might say, okay, Lauren, yeah, you're right. Thanks for shedding light on that. Is the outcome going to change? Is the decision going to change? No. Okay. So then we would move to, is the energy output worth the effort? Would it be worth me coming forward and scheduling a meeting with somebody to say, can we talk about this? Because it, for me, it is not as easy as just scheduling the meeting. Then in my head, I'm like, okay, what am I going to talk about at that meeting? What points do I want to get across? And that's a lot of energy output if if nothing is going to happen with it. So is the energy output worth the effort? And with my decision, the answer was no. And so I was like, okay, no action taken. In the beginning, when I very first thought about this and when the thing very first started happening, I, the answer for me was yes. Will the action change the feeling or desire? And the answer was yes, because it it would have changed the feeling. It would have changed the um I I wanted to be I wanted to be confident that my voice was heard, that my frustration um was vocalized. I wanted that to happen because I'm like, I want you to know that I'm frustrated with this. And so, okay, then we go to your voice matters to you, does it matter to them? Meaning, obviously, that's very important to me that what was going on with me, that feeling, that frustration, it was important to me. Does it matter to them? And this is why I say this one is a little bit more towards business because a lot of time with neurodiversity, a lot there's a lot of emotions involved, whether you admit it or not. And does the people who are ultimately going to be hearing your voice, um, does it matter to them? Like, yeah, your manager may be like, okay, like I'm sorry you're frustrated. I'm sorry this happened. I understand why you're frustrated, all of those things. But like, I appreciate you voicing that. And then the conversation may just die. So for me, again, that that ended up being a no. And I hadn't considered that question at first because I was like, I don't care if it matters to them. It matters to me. But I'm thinking, okay, if I'm up here and I'm gonna spend all this time and energy with setting up the meeting just so I can talk to them about this, are they going to care? Like, sure, they'll care, but is anything gonna, happen with this? Um, and the answer was no. And so the question became, okay, is the potential effort worth the energy output? If I know that I am going to do all these things, set up the meeting and say all of these things, and the um the issue raised and the meeting is going to be like, yeah, okay, I got my voice out, whether they actually like they heard it, I told it to them, and whether they just absorbed it or whether like, okay, oh, we need to put some action to this. What's the next steps? I didn't really think that that was worth it because um, all the other times that I've done it, I've seen like, okay, I voiced my opinion or I had this meeting and it was great and it made me feel better to say, okay, I had this conversation with them, but is this one based on that and based on my experience with that, is the potential waste of effort worth my energy output? And again, as I kind of thought through all this, the answer became no. But if and this is kind of a like kind of just your own guess. And okay, so if your voice matters to you, does it matter to them? And the answer could be like, I think so. Like, I really hope it does. And that could tell you a lot too. And if you're like, I hope it does, then you move down here. So, if the target outcome continues to move or change, is it worth your time? What I mean by that is, um, if you're thinking about like a project or an initiative or something like that, in companies, depending on the company goal, mission, or, what is happening, um, the priorities are changing with the company, right? So if the desired outcome or feeling continues to change. The target is a moving target, and every time it moves, you've got to readjust and recalibrate with it. Um, is that worth your time and energy? Because it would take a recalibration of okay, what does my ideas and decisions look like? Um, Again, like my end goal decision. If I like if it's a matter of time, like okay, if this keeps moving and it's going to add months or a year or something to get to this goal, is that worth your time? Is it worth the energy output? And that comes with energy output for frustration, for um, knowing that it moved again, or if it, heck, disappears, if it is no longer an option, no longer like a this isn't happening kind of thing, is that worth it for you? And that very well means that it could mean. So if you say, yeah, absolutely, I don't care how much time and energy it takes, then you move over here. Is the potential wasted effort worth the energy output? Like if I know that it it could be all for nothing. And maybe it's not all for nothing because it's going to teach you a general lesson. It's going to teach you probably more about yourself, and it's going to teach you maybe a little bit about how the company works or how your managers and leadership thinks. So that won't be all wasted effort. But for the effort that is wasted in you meeting a goal or you getting where you want to, is that potential energy wasted worth the energy output that you will have expended? If that question is no, no action. If it is yes, do it. Take the action. You've thought through all of the things. Take the action. But, and th it's not, this is very much just kind of saying, okay, it doesn't take as long as I'm taking to explain it because I am like digging deep into each one of these questions. Um, it might take a couple of hours of like thinking it through, or it might take a couple of days to really be honest with yourself and say, okay, I've thought about it. I've considered all of the variables that matter to me or are important. Um, it what does it look like? But and then I wanted to provide you a visual, and I'll make this available so that you can have the visual to kind of work through. But yeah, is it worth it? Um, is it worth it for you? Only you can answer that, honestly. People can talk you through it, people can give you advice or suggestions, but you're the only one that can answer these. And it kind of is what it is. Hey, apparently it saw my thumbs up, so there's a thumbs up from me. Yay, you're the only one that can answer it. Um, Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Um, I love doing these tutorials, and I'm always up for getting this stuff out of my head. Um, let me know your thoughts, and if you have a situation that um you want maybe help with, we can look at into what that looks like. Um, I will put my website link in the comments so that you can get in contact with me easier that way. But otherwise, please like and subscribe and share this with, other people who this may help. Also, next time I post anything, any other tutorials or, my ADHD life, all of my humor with that, you'll know. So, have a great day, and um, hopefully this makes your decisions better and easier.